us begin by closing our eyes and focusing on our breathing. Control each breath as you draw air deeply into your lungs. Allow each inhalation to flow naturally into your lower abdomen. Breathe naturally and keep your attention centered on your breath. If your attention begins to wander, gently bring it back to the slow, rhythmic pattern of your breathing. Remain still and allow your body to relax peacefully. Follow your breath and return to it whenever external thoughts arise. Become aware of its flow without manipulation. Observe it intimately as it becomes regular and relaxed. Now begin to focus on the gap between inhalation and exhalation. Focus on the frozen stillness between breaths. Focus solely on this spontaneous suspension of time where infinite eternity is revealed. Do not force this pause, just continue the measured rhythmic pulse of your breathing. Allow it to come naturally as you descend deeper into the mystical hollows between breaths. Now it is time to begin. Let the descriptive story guide you through this meditation. Relax and allow the images to form in your mind's eye. As you reach your destination, focus on the energy transfer and permit the flow to occur spontaneously. the afternoon sun, you sit on a moss-covered boulder and breathe the cool autumn air. Allow the warmth of the sun to seep into your bones. From where you sit, you can see a vast valley stretching out before you. Sit for a moment and let your eyes linger on the beautiful landscape. The mountain ridge to the left and right are carpeted in autumn splendor. The trees along each ridge are ablaze in the season's color, brilliant reds and golds fading into purple and pink. A soft haze is spread along the valley, blanketing the basin floor with the sweet aroma of autumn. Dew droplets formed in the chilled morning air drip from the brightly colored leaves around you. Distance below you, you see an expanse of brightly colored foliage. A forest of trees in the height of their colorful autumn display shroud the valley floor. Canopy is an enormous scarlet oak, its branches expanding high above the rest. In its uppermost branches, you notice a small wooden treehouse cottage. Lofty perch, the cottage nestles snugly amongst the red leaves of the giant oak. Located directly in the center of the valley of trees, the cottage represents a place of enormous energy reserves. about you as you wander slowly down the path. Rays of light filter through the branches and falling leaves. The forest glows with a golden radiance. In places, the pathway is covered bright orange, red and yellow leaves that cluster together into multicolored piles. The forest is beautiful in all its natural glory. Picturesque landscape. Forest birds chirp and play all around you as they frolic in the warm autumn weather. At this point, you begin to notice a slight change in your surroundings. The pathway begins to widen as you reach the edge of a small forest glade. In the center of the clearing stands the giant scarlet oak. Its branches, more majestic and grandiose than you had expected from a distance. Its scarlet leaves burn with red brilliance as the sun flickers through the moving foliage. Looking up, you see a small wooden cottage cradled high above in the giant arms of the living tree. Lovingly, the tree wraps its ancient arms around the wooden structure. The cottage seems to undulate like a graceful wave around the living wood that supports it. Each flowing level is mounted carefully upon a sturdy branch. A winding staircase snakes its way around the gnarled trunk, the steps embedded in the twisted and knotted bark. You make your way towards the steps and begin the climb. As you ascend, you begin to lift off the ground. You are floating just above the steps. You hover for a lingering moment, and then, to your astonishment, a force begins to propel you steadily forward and up. You glide a few inches above the steps, as if you were on a magical elevator. A short while later, you stand before a wooden door, engraved with symbols which you recognize as being an incantation of power transfer. Beautiful stained glass windows decorate the external walls. Even the door has a small stained glass portal depicting an energy transfer scene on it. You open the door and walk in. Welcome flashes of brilliant color are cast across the brightly lit room as the sun's rays enter through the stained glass windows. The moment you walk into the cottage, you feel the power wash over you. Waves of rejuvenating energy enter your system through your feet, up through your body, filling your soul with the energy of life. You open one of the larger stained glass windows to reveal the heavenly sight of autumn paradise. The leaves are even more brightly colored now that you are standing amongst them. You absorb the power as it radiates from the valley below. The giant scarlet oak acting as a power conduit, channeling energy to the treehouse cottage and yourself. You sit in one of the many antique chairs and make yourself comfortable. Relaxed and secure, you allow the energy transfer to begin. You are free to stay in this cozy environment for as long as you need. The scene is one of peace and tranquility. treehouse cottage and reposition yourself back on the moss-covered rock. In front of you. The door hums as it opens instinctively, as if sensing that it was time for you to leave. From the doorway as it opens, blinding you for a brief second. The light is warm and inviting. You enter and close the door behind you. As you close the door and step forward, the moss-covered rock appears before you. the ancient scarlet